So, as I was teaching my class on Monday, we were doing the same meditation we'll be doing today, the three letting bees. And there's something I've been sitting with for, gosh, I think now it's been a few years and it's taken on sort of a new life or light lately. And so I thought I might share a bit about it with you. So, as I was teaching on Monday, I was guiding the group to allow parts of self that may arise in the three letting bees that are a bit uncomfortable letting things be exactly as they are. Maybe these parts come up that want to act, want to analyze, want to control, want to do. And I just think that that is absolutely 100% natural. That is that's sort of the like MO, sort of the way that we're behaving and utilizing our brain functionality every day, all day, most of the time. So it makes sense that there perhaps could be a resistant part. And I think and just to remind you, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. I think it actually means you're doing it right. I think the idea of the three letting bees sounds great. Yeah, let's just relax, like kick back, like not do anything. Like it's actually much harder than that. And I think we've probably all practiced enough to realize that. It involves a lot of trust. And I think that trust can't be forced and it can't be built with an agenda. It needs to be allowed to arise naturally and gently over time. So, that willful, I want to do this well. I mean, I think it's a great intention, but it can often, if we're so attached to doing it right, that intention for practice can be kind of at odds with the three letting bees. So just be patient and compassionate and really value that willful kind of doing, active, controlling part. That part does a lot of great things for us. And also realize that it's not the full self, and that, again, over time we can trust this fuller self, our Buddha nature, to really rest and allow things to just be. And so as I'd say maybe a bit after class, but after I kind of led our class, it was beautiful, really connected, a lot of great sharing and wise sharing and connection between everyone. I think it started occurring to me that there's a relationship that I've been building with myself, again, as I mentioned earlier, over the last few years, about just as much as I can when I'm meditating, but also when I'm not meditating, almost more importantly, to welcome all parts of me, to welcome all senses of self, all emotions, all experiences. And I think that, this is basically the same scenario, right? There's parts of us that, and Tara Brach uses a great phrase called the trance of unworthiness. So there's parts of self that just need to kind of grasp on and to like effort and to do better and to, I mean, it's just, I'm sure you can understand these parts that I'm mentioning. I'm sure you have them too. To do better, to constantly effort, to constantly control, push ourselves. Like, this is actually the opposite of allowing all parts to be. So I started thinking, like, over the last few months, like, so if I truly value all parts of me, all feelings, all experiences, there's never really a problem. There's never really anything wrong. And so I think the more like spacious allowing and trust we can build, I think we can slowly allow ourselves to sort of become that which we're seeking, right? We're held already. This is something John has said before, which I love. We're held already in that which we seek. I think there was another great example that I noticed recently. I love when practice sort of shows up. They're sort of real life Buddhist parables in the moment. I practice with another Sangha, a Soni Rinpoche Sangha for Southern California. And it's a great Sangha. There's a number of people with a lot of experience. There's one gentleman in the group that is a bit newer to the practices, and he was sharing like, how do I know I'm doing it right? And he was asking all these questions. He was like, but how does it feel? And people were giving him, well, it feels like this for me. Well, this is the experience for me. We're all supporting him. And I just started noticing there's this deep pain expressed. I mean, in a sense that the enthusiasm is positive in one hand, right? It's getting him to practice. It's allowing him to put in the repetition, you know, the passion to practice frequently. But it was the grasp. The grasp was so tight. The gripping, the attachment was so tight. And it's occurred to me again, like, this is a reflection. This helps me with my practice. Like, where am I gripping? Where am I not allowing parts of myself to come in, to be here with me? What parts of myself am I telling, like, you don't belong here? So I just feel like this practice is, again, like a lot of the SET practices, I feel like, all of them really open over time. And so I just kind of wanted to share this, like, for me, I'm experiencing in my practice this like undulation of deepening trust, deepening allowing, of like allowing all of these parts of self, all of these experiences to just be. And so I just want to encourage that all of us kind of, as best we can, stay patient with this process. And it's okay if we're having deep reactions and a lot of challenging emotions come up. It's really okay. And I think only when we allow them, only when we recognize their worth and their power and their wisdom and importance to be here with us, can we more and more be that which we seek. So it's not just that we're already held in that which we seek. We already are that which we seek. This stable base, this ultimate stable base. So as much as we can, just allowing all to be welcome here, allowing all to belong. And really, what does that feel like? Maybe we can just take a moment to feel into that space. What does it feel like in the body for all of us to belong here? So we'll just start the official practice now, and just making sure if you need to adjust your seat, that's a nice straight spine so the muscles can relax around it, kind of hanging off the spine. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. Just slowly letting the body unwind into stillness as it will, and letting the mind follow. No need to rush it. Just take a moment to notice how you're feeling mentally, emotionally, physically. And we'll just do a simple 4-part breath where each of the parts are equal in time. So you might count 4 or 5, whatever feels comfortable and not constrained at all. So you'll inhale through the nose into the belly, then the chest for a 4 count or a 6 count. Then hold at the top for the same amount of time. And then slowly exhale through the nose for that same amount of time. And then hold again at the bottom and just move at your own pace. We'll do this for a few more breaths. Now just letting the breath return to its natural movement. Noticing again how you might be feeling. Notice if it's any different. Now notice the feeling of the body as a whole and any qualities you might notice. Maybe it feels heavy, maybe it feels achy, maybe it feels tired, maybe it feels hungry. Just noticing the body as a whole. Noticing the body as it connects to the earth, as the earth reaches up to hold us. And now scanning the body to notice if there's any areas of tightness or holding on or aching. And as best you can, just allow those parts, those feelings to be here with us. Letting the sensations arise and settle in their own way, in their own rhythm, giving them all the space they need to be here with us just as they are. Noticing if we're willing to allow this sensation to be here with us. Notice if it begins to change at all. And if it does change, just taking a moment to again allow this sensation to be here, giving it all the space it needs, knowing it belongs here with us. And just allowing the body to be with all of its sensations and qualities, and just allowing it to draw you more and more into oneness with it. Letting the body do the meditating. And now begin to notice the sensation of the breath as it's moving in and out of the body naturally. No need to control it. Just noticing the sensations, any qualities. Maybe there's a cool sensation in the nostrils or the throat. Maybe you just notice the belly moving against your clothes, or the chest moving. Just notice any sensations of the breath. Noticing any gripping or holding onto the breath. And just give those feelings that you notice all the space and time they need to unwind here on their own time. Just letting the breath draw us into oneness with it more and more. Just letting the breath do the meditating. Now, if you can and your eyes are closed, I suggest just gently opening them, perhaps looking down at the ground, and if you are able to, raising the gaze to look straight ahead, allowing the eyes to be soft with a gentle panoramic gaze, not focusing on any one thing, just letting everything in the visual field just pour in, experiencing it all simultaneously. As if you're relaxing your eyes while looking at a night sky so then you can see the smaller stars. Just taking it all in. Allowing all the senses to be wide open, also the sounds, the smells, any sensations. Now noticing any thoughts arising, any grasping onto the thinking process, any grasping onto a sense of self or an idea, or any effort. And instead, as much as you can, just letting go, settling back, loosening the grip, and trusting. Allowing that grasp, that holding on to relax deep within. Giving that feeling state as much space as it needs to let go of control and the need to control. Just more and more trusting this open, radiant, luminous space as you. Slowly allowing a deeper and deeper acceptance, a blending. Just letting all thoughts and feelings arise, unwind, and release. Arise, unwind, and release. Letting this natural process happen in its own time, as all thoughts and feelings and senses of self release as they will into their true nature. Giving the heart and mind permission to release their grip, to trust this openness more and more as they can. Just settling back into this natural openness and radiance, already here, always here in the background, within and through it all, beyond holding on to anything. Just letting this spaciousness draw you into oneness with it. Letting this unity of openness and awareness do the meditating. And letting it all be exactly as it is. Thank you.